In this tutorial, we are going to follow the guidelines to interpret the results of the ADHS pipeline. And you can find these guidelines on GitHub at mailproject/ADHS. On the main page, you can scroll down and you will find the specific guidelines to interpret the results. The main output of the ADHS pipeline is the individual patient reports that you will find in your ADHS data folder, output folder, prediction reports folder, and then the subject ID. You can see that here you have the PDF report. As explained on on the guidelines, the first page of the PDF reports is presenting some information about the ADHS tool, the disclaimer, but also the results of the hippocampal segmentation and the hippocampal surface reconstructions using HipUnfold. So we can see here that you have for the left and right hippocampi this segmentation that HipUnfold is providing with a quality check of the segmentation, which is a DICE score um, showing the similarity between this segmentation and atlas that is used by HipUnfold. We can see here that the results for the left and the right hippocampi are both 0.8, which means that the segmentation is quite accurate. If you have a results below 0.7, we recommend to manually check the segmentation as it can contain some errors. To check this segmentation and in more general to check the output of HipUnfold, you can go back to your ADHS data folder, and in the output folder, instead of going into prediction reports, you can go in HipUnfold outputs. And in there, you will find a HipUnfold folder and a folder for your patients. And you can see on the ANAT folder, you will have few files. As mentioned on the guidelines, the hippocampal segmentation are saved under these files that you can find here. This one for the left hemisphere and this one for the right hemisphere. So those files contain the segmentation of the hippocampus. You can also find on another folder the results of the PIAL surfaces. So if you're going back one step behind, you can find the surface here that are output by HipUnfold. And you can look at the surfaces, you can look at the surface-based features that have been extracted as well. And to look at those files, there are specific .gii file. So you will need to use a Workbench Connectum if you want to open these files. The second page of the PDF report presents an in-depth characterization of the patient's features and also the automated detection of HS using the ADHS classifier. The first result is the comparison between the individual hippocampal features and the normative trajectories obtained from healthy population. We can see here as an example for the volume that we have the median volume over the age of the healthy population in with this dark green line. We have in light green the range of going from 5th to 95th percentile of the healthy population, and then in dark green the volume for the 25th to the 75 percentile of the population. So we can see, for example, here that the left hippocampi of our individual falls within the normal range of the healthy population, very close to the median actually. However, the right hippocampi for that patients falls below the normal range of the volume. Following the same analysis, we can see that the right hippocampi is also outside the normal range of the healthy population for the thickness, purification, and the mean curvature, whereas the left hippocampi fall within the normal range. So there is at least four characteristics that four features that shows the characteristic of hippocampal sclerosis. If, like me, you have used the AHS pipeline prediction on these patients without performing the harmonization step on this same scanner, you will have some information on this red box that will say that the growth curve were created with data that were harmonized to adjust for between scanner differences, so the data that are used to create the normative trajectories. But because the data for this specific individual have not been harmonized, it can make the analysis unreliable, but it should not affect the performance of the classifier that comes after. The next results present the magnitude and the direction of the asymmetry between the left and the right hippocampi within the individual. So we can see that here the patient present shows a decreased volume on the right hippocampi compared to the left, decreased thickness, decreased purification, an increased mean curvature, and an increased intrinsic curvature, which are all characteristic of hippocampal sclerosis. And we can see that the magnitude of these asymmetries are going beyond the threshold that are defined to be likely a patient with hippocampal sclerosis. Finally, these asymmetries were used in the logistic regression classifier, which predicted with 82.9% a right hippocampal sclerosis for this individual. As mentioned in the guidelines, there is a couple of limitations to be aware of. If the segmentation scores are below 0.7, there can be reconstruction or segmentation error, and therefore the results from AHS may not be reliable. If you have not harmonized your data, the analysis of the individual hippocampal features against the normative trajectories might not also be reliable, because your data might have a shift compared to the normative trajectories. The LHS classifier has only been trained on unilateral patients, and therefore it does not have the ability to classify bilateral patients. However, the information reported in the PDF reports can help predict bilateral HS. For example, if you're looking at the normative trajectories and that both the hippocampi are have the characteristic of hippocampal sclerosis and are falling outside the normative trajectories, that can be a sign that it is a bilateral case. And finally, as LHS classifier has been trained on features extracted from 3D T1 weighted scans acquired at 3 Tesla, and therefore the results of LHS on other magnetic field strengths have not been thoroughly evaluated yet, and we cannot guarantee the same performances. The results of the segmentation, the hippocampal features, and the asymmetries and prediction are all reported in a CSV file that you can find in your LHS data folder for your prediction report folder for these patients. You will see that there is a prediction.csv file, and on this CSV there is quite quantitative values, the one that are reported in the PDF report.